Started thinking about it in 2017, ultimately launched in 2018, broke $1 million in revenue in 2019, now doing 24 million bucks in terms of run rate, up from 12 million just a year ago. SafetyWing is digital nomad insurance, right? You go get it in an issue in Europe when you're traveling, it's a 2K bill. They've got you protected. They're hoping to build a global safety net, right? And really enable digital nomads to thrive and flourish wherever they are. And the last raise a $35 million Series B in 2022 at a 195 million post, called a 16x multiple, looking to scale today with their team of 60 as they keep trying to build that net. So my guest today is Sondre Rash. He's the co-founder and CEO of SafetyWing and host of SafetyWing's Building Remotely podcast, to guide on how to build and scale a remote company. His educational background is in economics and computer science, and previously he was a policy advisor for the government of Norway, working on their social safety net. He was also the co-founder of Superside, a platform for freelance designers. All right, Sondre, you ready to take us to the top?
Let's go.
I feel like I see that purple, wavy Superside logo all over the place. When did you leave that company for SafetyWing?
So that was back in 2017, 2018. But of course, it's still run by my co-founders. So I get some regular updates, and it's a great company. It's they're doing really well.
So where did you discover the problem that you're now solving at SafetyWing? Was it at Superside?
2016, right after Y Combinator, me and Frederick, we both came from policy. So we noticed that the freelancers had this problem of income uncertainty and not having benefits. So we looked into providing benefits for the freelancers on the platform. We found that nobody offered this, and we also realized why, which is essentially that the internet labor market, it's global, goes across borders, but all the infrastructure that supports the labor market kind of works as if it's local.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of the infrastructure just doesn't work, right? So it's like, if you're hiring a freelancer from Guatemala, they will not qualify for your social safety net, right, obviously. So it has to be rebuilt in this global digital way, and that's what we set out to do.
Interesting. So you sensed this was an opportunity. You leave Superside. You launched SafetyWing. What year was that?
2017.
2017. Okay. And then I guess walk me through your first customers. Was it the Superside team, or how'd you land your first customers?
No, it's funny. It actually took me a couple of years to get to make the product so that Superside could use it. So, we started out and we're like, I took my only experience, which was making the Norwegian social safety net. And the idea was, let's make something like the Norwegian social safety net, but available on the internet as a membership. But we have to start somewhere. So let's make one little piece, and then we kind of build out, health, retirement, disability, each part until we make a membership at the end. So we talked to users, and they essentially said, okay, health was the top thing. And then we decided on this kind of influencer segment of remote work, which are the digital nomads. And I knew that segment very well. I was sort of part of it. And so was Sarah and Hans, my co-founders. So we made nomad insurance. And that was our first customers. That, however, didn't cover home country, so it couldn't be used by Superside. So it was only when we 2 years later launched remote health that we signed up, where I discovered the problem, and they're now one of our biggest customers, Superside.
Interesting. Okay, so just to be clear, you're selling in these early days the digital nomads directly, so one-off $10 a month plans, or are you selling big enterprise packages to the operating company?
Like the first thing you said, it's directly to the digital nomads. $45 a month plan on a subscription. So they come to our website and they buy it, and they have a subscription, and that works kind of out of the gate. And it's in 2020 that we made this company option we actually did that because we had so many requests to do it. So a lot of companies reached out and said, hey, this nomad thing, the global health insurance, that looks cool. I want to buy that for my global team. And then we said, after we got that request 100 times, we said we got to build this. So we made.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your Founder Path dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right, so the teal is what a VC would pay, yellow is what private equity, and red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise, they sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of Founder Path, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here, and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview.
How does someone listening right now might go, man, I'm a digital nomad. I totally understand. I don't want to pay Blue Cross Blue Shield $600 a month. That only covers the US, but I'm in Chile and I'm in Europe all the time. How do I, if I get a cut in Europe, how do I go to Europe hospital? How do you solve that problem for $45 a month?
Well, so the US is an outlier on cost here. So and everyone who comes from a US perspective always thinks that anything outside of the US is like remarkably cheap. And that's a whole little segment on its own, like why that is. Just to drop the thing that I think is really missing from the debate that I've noticed making this product is that the medical provider networks in the US charge a very high price, and internationally, medical provider networks have no price, but it's like a majority of the cost of an insurance in the US. But that's more of a fun fact.
Yeah, like how do you use it? I'm in Europe. I'm using it in the US, but I'm in Europe traveling. I cut my toe on the beach. I need to go to the hospital and get stitches. How do I use SafetyWing?
You just so typically the user experience would be like this. You would call or send us a message in the chat, and would be directed to a nearby hospital. And the hospital would bill us directly after nearby private hospital. So that's typically how it would be. In another situation where you don't reach out to us, you would go there. Then they might not be able to bill us directly because some hospitals internationally are not able to. So maybe then you would pay out of pocket, and then you would go to our website and get the money transferred back to you after. So
how many people do that though? Isn't that like a bunch of work? I mean, do people actually do that?
Yeah, people do that. I mean, people use this whenever something happens. I mean, you get your money back, so why not?
I hear this all the time, right? I have to go in and like the bill at the whatever for the medicine is $100, and they say, oh well, like we can't approve insurance today, but just send the receipt to your SafetyWing and they'll. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to take the time to go to the SafetyWing website and upload the receipt and try and fight to get a refund. Like how many of these have you processed in terms of like total dollar volume over the past 30 days?
I don't have that number top of mind, but I would say that here we're not unique compared to any other insurance company, which is that the scenario you're describing, it is true, right? And I might not do that as well if I have something that is $50 or $100. Maybe I can't even be bothered to upload the receipt and get the reimbursement. But that's not why I would have the insurance, because sometimes you have that thing that costs $2,000, or maybe sometimes you have a thing that costs $20,000, or maybe you can't get the treatment without having insurance, or maybe you need to be evacuated to another hospital. Like it's the more serious things where you definitely, would use the insurance and what that would be for. That said, though, for that, like just, talking to a primary care physician for $50 scenario, we are making later this year, hopefully we'll be ready, something called like a SafetyWing card, so that you can pay then at the point of purchase with the SafetyWing card. So even if you're not referred there by us, you don't have to pay out of pocket. And that I think will improve the user experience on that sort of scenario you're describing.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now you said you started pricing back in 2017 at about $45 a month. Have you edited that at all, or is today the average customer paying $45 a month?
Today it's $45 a month. It was 35 when we started out. So
Okay.
but inflation adjustments.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So you launched obviously the team plans, I think you said in 2020. You're now scaling today. How many customers or how many seats, how many folks are protected by SafetyWing today?
Active policies like last month is about 25,000.
Is that your main, I guess, sort of OKR metric for the companies, or something else I'm not asking about that you actually care more about?
No, that's about right. So sometimes we count people and sometimes we count revenue. But it's just one is the other times price. So that's that. And the other one is NPS. 1 to 10, would you recommend this to a friend?
Now, Sondre, if I take 25,000 policyholders at $45 a month, that would mean you're doing about 1.1 million a month in revenue.
So we also have another product that is higher priced, remote health insurance for remote teams and individuals. So like those 25,000, a section of those is paying a higher price point.
Okay, so you guys are doing more than $1 million a month in revenue then.
Yeah,
that's great.
Like twice as much. Yeah,
twice as much. Wow. Okay, so about 2 million a month or 24 million run rate. Where were you exactly a year ago, so we can calculate growth rate?
But we've doubled. So 2022 versus 2021. I looked it up the other day. That's 2x.
Wow, that's incredible. I would think that a lot of your growth would have come from people wanting to protect themselves from COVID if they were traveling internationally, and that sort of died off. But you've been able to maintain growth, it sounds like.
Yeah. So COVID for us was a mixed blessing. So one is we launched remote health right before it, which was amazing, and everyone switched to remote. It accelerated the advent of remote work by 5 years. But two, digital nomads. First, it was very bad because a third of our customers evacuated, and we lost them. So a huge drop. But then come August in 2020, we had this massive growth, 3x in 5 months, due to introducing COVID coverage, which is kind of like your point there. So for us, it was like a mixed bag. It was like a roller coaster, where in some cases things became suddenly amazing, and then in some cases it was terrible and existential crisis, and then it was great again. But over the long run, what COVID did was definitely accelerate remote work, which is fundamentally good for us.
Sondre, you launched in 2017. How many years did it take you to hit $1 million in revenue? Do you remember?
We launched in 2018. So 2017 was just when I started tinkering with the idea. Okay. 2018 was when we launched. It was about a year, a little over a year. Yeah.
So just call it 2019 then, but passing the $1 million run rate. Very cool. What's growth look like? I mean, what do you do next, right? You've got a massive install base of 25,000 bucks. You can focus on upselling them, or you can focus on doubling the install base from 25K to 50K. How do you think generally?
It's both of those. So, our vision is to build this global social safety net, which is a massively more ambitious product. And we definitely want to at some point upsell, everyone, part of our Nomad users to be like, hey, how about this membership product, which is priced higher, but you get like way more stuff.
Yeah.
Way better. So, that's half of the answer. And the other half, but like in day to day, a lot of it is just focus on, improving small customer fixes, improving, the claims experience like we talked about, and scaling the growth channels, the ambassador program, platform API sales.
Mm-hmm. That makes tons of sense. Talk to me real quick about capitalization. Have you bootstrapped or raised?
We have raised. So we've raised a total of $53 million, actually quite a bit, through a series of rounds. So we did Y Combinator in 2018, seed round 3.5, 2019, in 2020, Series A, 8 million, and now in 2020, Series B, 35 million.
Sorry, that was 35 million in 2020?
2022.
2022. Okay. Were you able to sort of get that done before valuations compressed significantly? I mean, most people in the Series B are selling like 10% of the company. Were you sort of in that same range?
Yeah, no, it was more. It was like I might as well say it. I think the like post money valuation was like 195. I don't think I've said that anywhere else, but that was what it was.
Sondre,
So
we love that. Come on, we love breaking news, break new data. That's great.
right.
Do you have any issues today of people going, shit, my options are underwater because valuations have compressed so much?
No. We raised like things were already falling in April.
Okay.
So it was not like payday race. It was like everyone was like looking, people are canceling meetings. It hasn't fully taken the plunge, but it was plungy environment when we raised them.
It's the first time I've heard that word, plunging environment. That's good. And look, we can back that up with data, right? You were doing about a $12 million run rate, and the 195 post would be 16.2x multiple. I'd say that's fair. That's not crazy.
No, it was not a crazy multiple. It was within normal. Like I remember when we started thinking about the fundraise in 2021, I heard this concept so much where I was like, okay, 10x multiple, and then someone was like, no, it's 100x now.
Yeah, it's insane. It's crazy. Well, no, it sounds like you've done this in a very capital efficient way, but also not gotten too crazy, which is great. Well, listen, we're out of time here, I guess. Before we wrap up with the famous five, if people want to learn more about SafetyWing, where can they find you?
So if you're a nomad or you have a remote team and you want to offer them benefits, go to safetywing.com. And definitely also check out the podcast, Building Remotely, where we trying to build a knowledge base on how to build and scale a remote team.
That's great. And real quick, team size today, how many full-time?
60.
60. How many engineers?
20.
That's great. All right, famous five here. Number one, favorite book?
Beginning of Infinity by David Deutsch.
Number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Sam Altman, OpenAI.
Number three, what's your favorite online tool for building SafetyWing?
Probably TeamFlow, which unfortunately that's sold, but it's our virtual office software.
Number four, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
8.
That's good. And situation, married, single, kids?
Married, with wife is just pregnant.
Oh, congratulations. That's extremely exciting. All right, kid on the way. And how old are you?
36.
Last question, something you wish you knew when you were 20.
To go straight for the thing that I most wanted instead of like doing kind of like a learning path.
Guys, there I have it. I started thinking about it in 2017, ultimately launched in 2018, broke $1 million in revenue in 2019, now doing 24 million bucks in terms of run rate, up from 12 million just a year ago. SafetyWing is digital nomad insurance, right? You go get it in an issue in Europe when you're traveling, it's a 2K bill. They've got you protected. They're hoping to build a global safety net, right? And really enable digital nomads to thrive and flourish wherever they are in the world. Last raise a $35 million Series B in 2022 at a 195 million.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.